Hello, children. I keep trying to just balance myself to figure out because I hate when I'm a little too over here with my video, and then I hate when I'm a little too over here with my video. So I'm always trying to center myself literally and figuratively, which is actually quite ironic because that's what we did vocabulary on yesterday. Okay, today you're going to take notes in your iReady book. We're going to do it on lesson 10, which I believe is page 95. Oh, I'm a bad teacher sometimes because I don't know the page. I think it is. Yeah, go to page 95. Lesson 10. I'll read this, and then we're going to annotate in our book together, which I like the word annotate because it sounds like the words we did yesterday, denotate or denotation, and connotate or connotation, or as we see in the book, a denotative meaning or a connotative meaning, which are adjective forms of the verb form of the noun form. Yeah, I'm a dork. Anyway, okay, I'll read. Making myself big enough. Just can I make myself bigger one more time? I think so. Can I do that to where I'm not in the way? I think so. I like it. Like massive. Like scaring me. Okay. Lesson 10, Part 1, Introduction. Determining word meanings, figurative, connotative, and technical. Again, we've done figurative. We did that with Out of the Dust. Connotative, we've talked about that in our warm-ups. Technical, again, as you did the definitions to the vocabulary, technical is basically definitions that each discipline in life will have. So as you do different school assignments, as you go into a job, a trade, you're going to have words that are specific to that trade, to that job, to this game, to basically whatever you're doing. Everything has technical words that are associated with it. Think about all the lyrics to your favorite song. What pictures or images do they bring to mind? How do the words make you feel? Let's see, everyone think of their favorite song. I mean, I'm a big Phil Collins fan and Genesis fan. I think I'd have to go with Against All Odds. I love that song. It's beautiful. So what images does bring to mind? Well, I'm not going to go sociopathic and start getting all blah and start crying, so I won't do that. Writers use words in different ways depending on their purpose, obviously. As a poet, I do that all the time. They might use words with a figurative meaning that is different from their literal or usual meaning. They might use words with a technical meaning when writing about a specific subject area, like music. Sometimes writers choose words with a positive or negative connotative meaning to show how they feel about the topic. You can figure out an author's intended meaning by thinking about the word's context or the text that comes before and after it. Look at the picture below and read how the boy and girl describe the music. Circle words and clues in the picture that tell you how each person feels about the music. This music is intense. This music is ear-splitting. So, again, we'll go back and we'll do all that as a class. I'm going to read everything. The words intense and ear-splitting are both ways of saying something is loud, but intense suggests a positive feeling, while ear-splitting suggests a negative feeling. Although they have similar meanings, the words have different connotations. Look again at how the girl describes the music. Are her ears literally splitting? What does she really mean? Why do we think she uses that word? So again, are the girl's ears literally spinning is literal versus figurative? What does she really mean? That's figurative. And why do we think she uses the word? That's to denotate or connotate how she feels about the music. The word's ear splitting is a figurative expression. It's an exaggeration, hyperbole, used to describe something unpleasantly loud. Which again also could be personification because the music can't actually split your ears. Shut up, Tyke. Yes, sir, but you are doing very well. Why, thank you, Mr. Shornack. Knowing the literal meaning of a word or phrase is not always enough. It's also a good idea to pay attention to the context in which the word or phrase appears. Context will help you figure out if the author is using a word for its technical, connotative, or figurative meaning. Hey, I was right on the page. Yay! Okay, so now let's read this together. The Father of Rock and Roll by Letitia Hammond. Rock musicians can trace their roots back to one individual, Chuck Berry. He rose to stardom in the 1950s with music featuring driving beats and catchy guitar riffs, short series of notes that repeat throughout a song. Berry's groundbreaking sound combined rhythm and blues with country music. As a guitarist, he was known for his phrasing. Aerosmith guitarist Joe Perry describes the way Berry grouped notes into a quick burst as the double note stop, where you get the two notes bending against each other and they make that rock and roll sound. Berry's clever lyrics about high school and dancing also won over teenage audiences. The words to his songs told the stories of their generation. Everything I wrote about wasn't about me, but about the people listening, said Berry. As I'm doing this, I'm going to ask you, does anyone know Chuck Berry's most famous song? It was on Back to the Future. Thank you, Tyke. That was a very good help.
Yeah, it was a good song. Yeah, 'cause in Back to the Future, when he says, hey, Chuck, this is your cousin Marvin Berry. Well, you know that new sound you were looking for? Well, listen to this.
Well, thanks, Leon. That was very nice of you.
You're welcome, Mr. Shornack.
So, I enjoyed my job. Explore how the answer to this question, what does the author mean when he says that Chuck Berry was known for his phrasing? The sentence says that as a guitarist, Berry was known for his phrasing. The usual meaning of phrasing is putting a group of words together. What does this term mean in music? The author is using a word's technical meaning here. In order to understand that meaning, look for clues in the sentences that come before and after and will fill in the context chart. As a guitarist, he's known for his phrasing. We'll go back and do the context clue later. On the lines below, state the technical meaning of the word phrasing, then explain how the context clue helped you figure it out, which again we'll do as a class later. Continue reading about Chuck Berry. Use the close reading and hint to help you answer the questions. Close reading. The author says Berry shined a light on many rock stars' path. How can the context help you understand the figurative expression? Hint. Substitute each choice for the phrase in the text to see which meaning makes sense. As always, as I've taught you, and I hope a lot of teachers have taught you in the past, and I think as you should always do with any type testing, whether it's iReady, whether it's CMAS, whether it's a teacher's test, whether it's ACT, SAT, whether it's this type of test that you're doing for your driver's license or anything. Read the question and answers first and then go back to what you're doing. Based on the text, which of the following is the closest to the figurative meaning of the phrase shined a light on many rock stars' paths? Made it possible for musicians to play rock and roll for a living. Drew attention to the talents of other rock musicians, making them famous. Helped musicians learn their craft by studying his songwriting and performing. Exposed the secrets of rock musicians and the music business. So, continue from page 96. Berry also revolutionized guitar showmanship with his signature duck walk. It involved playing guitar while squatting and moving forward. One leg would swing back and forth in the air while he hopped on the other. Chuck Berry shined a light on many rock stars' paths. Even the Beatles' John Lennon credited Berry's sound and style. He said, If you try to give rock and roll another name, you might call it Chuck Berry. I hope you know who John Lennon is. Okay, so we'll go back and answer the multiple guesses together. Then we're going to say, show your thinking. Look at the answer that you chose above. Explain how the context in the paragraph help you understand the meaning of shine the light on many rock stars' paths. Because again, that would be hyperbole or personification. We're not literally shining a light on a path. We're not going to do this as a partner. And now we're going to do part 4, the guided practice. Again, let's look at the help, the close reading. And we're going to look at the hints, and then we're going to also look at the questions, and then we'll read the passage. Authors use words with connotative meanings to show how they feel about a topic. As I read, I'll look for words that suggest the author's feeling about guitars. As I read. Again, that's what we know about homonyms. Because again, we might look at that sometimes depending on, again, if we're speaking the past tense, that would be as I read. But it's read because we're reading in the present tense. Shut up, Tiggy. Yes, sir. Let's do close reading as Leon.
What does the context suggest about the meaning of the phrase drowned out as it's used in paragraph 3? What does a magnetic pickup do to the sound of a guitar? Circle the sentences that explain this technical term.
Thank you, Leon.
You're welcome, Mr. Chornet.
Let's have Tig read hints. Which choice contains words that show the author's personal feelings about guitars? Look for clues before and after this phrase in the text that help you understand its figurative meaning. I know you sound like Mickey Mouse sometimes, Tig. I sure do, Mr. Shornack. Okay, use the hints on this page to help you answer the questions. Which words from this account have positive connotations? A, fretted acoustic vibrations amplify. B, evolving, specific, modern, solid. C, wonders, rich, delight, fascinating. D, ancient, smaller, hollow, louder. 2, what does the author mean when he writes the guitars were often drowned out by the singers and other instruments? A, there was a chance the guitars would be replaced by other instruments. B, the moisture in a hollow body guitar kept from being loud enough. C, it was difficult to hear acoustic guitars over other instruments and voices. D, other instruments were becoming more popular than acoustic guitars. And then 3, we'll write together. Describe the technical meaning of the word amplify. Include 2 context clues from the account to help you provide its definition. I went too far. Not my Richie. Sound like I'm yelling at a cat. The Evolution of Guitar by Pat Frizzell. Guitars are a dynamic, evolving instrument. Did I say guitars? I did. Boy, good thing I'm not doing a Dibbles test. Guitars are dynamic, evolving instruments. Today, guitars are flat-bodied wonders with fretted necks and 6 strings. Frets are metal pieces cut into the neck at specific intervals. By pressing a string down onto a fret, guitarists change the string's length. This changes its tone when it vibrates. The guitar has a rich history that dates back to ancient times, but the first instruments that modern audiences would recognize as guitars developed in the 15th century. They arrived in Spain from North Africa. Initially, some had only 4 strings and were much smaller than guitars today. Guitars were all acoustic. That is, their melodic sound was made from string vibrations in their hollow bodies. People use them to accompany songs and poetry. Acoustic guitars delight the ears, but are not very loud. By the 20th century, they were often drowned out by trumpets, pianos, and even singers. Few actually could hear them. This changed in the 1920s when Lloyd Loar designed the first magnetic pickup, which could capture the acoustic guitar strings' vibrations and amplify them electronically through speakers. A guitar could now hold its own with louder instruments. This was the birth of the electric guitar. Again, a magnetic pickup we just now call an amplifier. Now, guitarists can either amplify their acoustic hollow body guitars with pickups or play loud body electric guitars. The way guitars sound and even how they're built continue to develop in fascinating ways. So now we're going to answer 1, 2, and 3 together as a class. After you do that, I will walk around and see that you've done this, and you'll get your points in class. If we have remote learners still, remote learners, please hold your book up, and I will look at your pages and give you your points. If you have any questions, please raise your hand in class. If we still have remote learners, please message me through Schoolology, or please unmute yourself and say hi. As always, thank you very much, pirates, and have a super sparkly day.